If you're about to start a fat loss phase, then you need to watch this video because today I'm going to tell you the foods that I like to eat during my fat loss phases to be able to stay on track. Now, a couple things we got to remember before starting a fat loss phase. First, you should not lose sight of the goal. The goal of a fat loss phase is fat loss. A lot of people want to make it overly complicated and they want to create super fancy dishes that taste amazing, and they end up creating things that are very high in calories. Now, I'm not saying you gotta eat food that tastes like crap, but you gotta remember that it's not gonna be as flavorful as when you're eating more calories, because you will not be able to add fats and a lot of carbs to things, and generally fats and carbs are what make things taste good. So keep that in mind. Now, you can eat, decent, tasty food, but it's not gonna be as tasty as when you're eating high calories. So do not lose sight of the goal. The goal is fat loss. And the second thing you gotta remember as well is that it will end. A fat loss phase cannot be done forever, should not be done forever. It's gonna end. It's gonna be 10 to 12 weeks, and then you're gonna get a break, you're gonna eat more calories, and you're going to feel better. Now let's go ahead and dive in with the foods. Now, as you can see, I got a lot of things here on my table. I'm gonna name things. Most of the things are here. Some of the foods that I like are not here, but I'll go over the things that I like to eat. So first, let's start with the proteins. So my favorite proteins during a fat loss phase are three, okay? I like to eat tofu. Why do I like tofu? Because it has a lot of volume. So when I was doing my contest prep, I was eating around 2 boxes a day of tofu. Each box has around 30 grams of protein. Now, each box, if you mix it with veggies, it's a lot of volume. So tofu is a freaking awesome food when you're doing a fat loss phase because it has a ton of volume. Now, my second favorite protein during fat loss phases is seitan. Why do I like seitan? And this specifically is seitan ham. Unfortunately, you cannot find this brand in the US. It's only in Mexico, but there's a lot of brands in the US that would work. So seitan is freaking awesome because the amount of protein it has per gram is very high, and it doesn't have a lot of calories. It doesn't have a ton of carbohydrates, it doesn't have a ton of fat. So with seitan, you'll be able to get lean protein, and then you can eat the other calories in other foods. So aside from the seitan and tofu, I also like protein powder. When I'm doing the protein powder, I usually do 2 smoothies a day, or maybe a smoothie and some waffles, some protein waffles. But either way, what I do is mix it. So I have one type of protein powder in the morning, one type of protein powder in the evening, maybe soy protein isolate in the morning and pea protein in the evening, or maybe a blend in soy, or maybe a blend in pea. The reason I do this is because different protein sources have different amino acids, and you want to make sure that you're giving your body a wide range of amino acids so that you can actually, retain your muscles during a fat loss phase. It's going to be better for muscle building processes and for retaining your current muscles. As you can see, we have some drinks over here. Coffee. I love coffee during a fat loss phase because caffeine helps with 2 things. Caffeine helps with blunting hunger a little bit, and it also gives you energy during a workout. When you're losing fat, especially when you're very low in calories, your workouts can suffer because you literally don't have a lot of fuel to be able to have a high quality workout. One thing that you can do to solve this is supplement with caffeine or take coffee. The caffeine is gonna help you perform better in the gym. I also like soda, Diet Coke, or Red Bull. Now, these 2 drinks are 0 calories because we don't wanna be drinking extra calories during the fat loss phase. Now, I know that many people are gonna tell me, Julian, what the hell are you drinking soda and energy drinks? That's the worst that you can do. But hear me out. The goal of a fat loss phase is to lose fat and to stay on track. One of the hardest things that happens during fat loss phases is hunger. When you're hungry, then your decision making tends to go out the window, and then you tend to eat foods that are high in calories. Now think about someone who's very, very overweight and they really struggle with hunger. And drinking a Red Bull or a diet soda, or maybe 2 and 2 a day, is gonna help them stay on track and lose 50 pounds. Now you think that person's gonna be healthy with 50 less pounds than they were with 50 extra pounds? So diet sodas and energy drinks, as long as they're 0 calories, they're totally awesome for fat loss phases. They're gonna blunt hunger. They have caffeine, so again, caffeine is gonna help you blunt hunger and stay on track. Now, energy drinks aside, use them during fat loss phases, they're great. I also like this thing. This is 0 calorie syrup, and you can find it in Amazon. It's called D. Gary. I think you can find it in Amazon in the US, but basically maple syrup that has 0 calories. I love it because we tend to cook pancakes and waffles during fat loss phases, and this basically allows me to put a lot of syrup on the pancakes and it adds 0 extra calories. So 0 calorie maple syrup, one of my favorite things during fat loss phases. Vegetables, of course you want a lot of vegetables, and I just have 3 right here. You don't gotta limit yourself to 3 vegetables. These are cucumbers, tomatoes, and mushrooms, but you can have onions, red peppers, zucchini, like all the vegetables. They're very important during fat loss phases because they're gonna give you macronutrients, fiber, and vegetables have the advantage of being very high in volume and very low in calories. Eat vegetables, make sure you're eating your veggies during fat loss phases. Watermelon, it's very dense in volume, like it has a lot of volume, and again, the amount of calories is very, very small. It has 30 calories for 100 grams of watermelon. So you can eat 200, 300 grams, 400 grams, and it's not that many calories. 400 grams is only 120 calories. So watermelon is awesome during fat loss phases. Now, some other carb sources that I enjoy during fat loss phases are potatoes and sweet potatoes. I like potatoes because they have a lot of volume again, and the caloric content is not that high. And also another cool thing about potatoes is that potatoes are the food that's placed the highest in the satiety index, meaning that it's the food that's gonna make you feel the fullest in the whole world. Potatoes, great addition for any fat loss phase. As far as fats, I tend to just use a little bit of olive oil, but most of the fats are gonna come from protein sources. So if you need a little bit of extra fat, I recommend using olive oil. So if you think about your fat loss phase, what you want to do is avoid foods that have a lot of multiple macros. For example, if you eat peanut butter has a lot of fat, it has carbs, and it has protein. Instead of eating the 3 macronutrients from peanut butter, you can have a fat like olive oil, then you can eat the carbs from, let's say, watermelon, and then you can eat the protein from seitan. Now, obviously you're not gonna mix those because that'll be crazy, but just an example. You wanna maximize the food volume with the amount of calories that you have. That is the main goal, because when you do that, then your hunger is not gonna be that bad, and if hunger is not that bad, it'll be a lot easier to stay on track with your fat loss phase. Now, if you want some help with your fat loss phase, if you want us to guide you and tell you exactly what to eat, what to do, how to do it, and if you want us to help you one-on-one with losing fat, building muscle, and looking great with no clothing, then all you gotta do is book a free consultation. The link is down below. You're gonna click on it, it's gonna take you to a questionnaire where you're gonna tell us exactly what you want to accomplish right now and the things that are holding you back. Then you're gonna book a free consultation with either myself or someone from my team. We'll get on the phone, we'll ask you a couple of questions. If we feel that we can help you, we're gonna tell you the next steps. And if for any reason we think that we're not the right fit, we'll try to point you in the right direction. That is it for this video. Julian here, signing off.